For 3 decades, a Michigan resident believed that the rock-like object he stumbled upon in a smoking hole on his property was simply a large, worthless stone. He had been using it as a doorstop to prop open his backyard shed. However, after seeking an expert opinion, he discovered that this seemingly ordinary rock held far more value than he had ever imagined. It was about to transform his life as he delved into the investigation of a smoking hole in his field, unearthing a wildly valuable treasure. Most prospective homebuyers take thorough measures to inspect a property before making a purchase, and David Macer was no exception. In 1988, he was eyeing a farm in Edmer, Michigan. Although the farm wasn't brand new, Macer was keen on understanding the property's details. During a tour guided by the property owner, he noticed a sizable stone propping open the back shed's door. Initially, he thought nothing of it, but the peculiar appearance of the rock lingered in his mind throughout the tour. Eventually, he couldn't resist and asked about the mysterious object. The farmer revealed an astonishing tale. This rock was no ordinary stone. The farmer recounted how, as a child in the 1930s, he had witnessed the rock falling from the night sky. Intrigued and eager to retrieve this space stone, he and his father ventured into the fields the following morning, discovering it in a large crater. The stone was still hot to the touch. Though unlike any rock they had ever encountered, they decided to use it as a doorstop due to its weight. Macer was initially skeptical about the story, considering a meteorite as a doorstop to be quite unusual. Nevertheless, he accepted the stone when the farmer offered it to him along with the property. For the next 30 years, Macer utilized the rock as a doorstop, unaware of its potential value. Over time, the stone continued to captivate those who saw it, including Macer's children, who even brought it to school for show and tell. In 2018, following a meteor shower, Macer began contemplating the possibility that the farmer's story might indeed be true. Meteorites were being discovered across Michigan, and people were profiting from them. Macerak imagined the potential worth of his doorstop, but needed to ascertain if it was a genuine meteorite or simply an unremarkable rock. He sought the expertise of a friend knowledgeable in geology at Central Michigan University, who connected him with Dr. Mona Sesu, a professor at CMU. Dr. Sesu agreed to examine the stone, though she held reservations based on previous encounters with suspected meteorites. However, upon inspecting Macer's stone, she recognized telltale signs of a meteorite. Further analysis, including X-ray fluorescence, confirmed that this stone was indeed a meteorite, containing 88% iron and 12% nickel, distinctive traits found in meteorites. Weighing over 22 pounds, Macer's meteorite ranked as the 6th largest space stone of its kind recovered in Michigan. Dr. Sesu estimated its potential auction value at up to $100,000. To confirm its authenticity beyond doubt, she sent a piece of the rock to the Smithsonian for additional analysis. Geologist Catherine Corrigan at the Smithsonian corroborated Dr. Sesu's findings. Now that the identity of the meteorite was firmly established, the question remained, what would become of Macer's incredible find? According to Dr. Sesu, Macer had 2 choices. He could either sell the stone to a museum or offer it to a private collector seeking profit. Nevertheless, Macer was unwavering in his commitment to utilizing the meteorite's proceeds for a meaningful purpose. Should he opt to sell the stone, he pledged to donate 10% of the sale to CMU to support further geological research. Dr. Sesu, however, maintained that the opportunity to study the meteorite was a gift in itself. Allowing her students to physically interact with this celestial rock granted them a unique perspective on the true essence of their studies. She marveled at the notion that what she held was a fragment of the early solar system that had fallen into their hands. Dr. Sesu recalled the Macer meteorite, now christened the Edmer meteorite, which continued to undergo analysis in the hopes of uncovering rare elements within it. While meteorites are not an uncommon sight on Earth, one particular stone, which originated from the moon, had no business being there at all. The tale of this stone began 2 years after Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin's historic moonwalk when NASA, deeming 2 lunar landings insufficient, launched the Apollo 14 mission. This mission saw Commander Alan Shepard, Command Module pilot Stuart Roosa, and Lunar Module pilot Edgar Mitchell embarking on a 9-day journey to the Moon. The launch, initially scheduled for October 1970, was delayed by 4 months due to the failure of the Apollo 13 mission. Finally, on January 31, 1971, the crew took off from the Kennedy Space Center with the aspiration of revolutionizing our understanding of physics and life through their scientific objectives. Little did they know that their journey would lead to a discovery that would leave the scientific community astounded. On February 5, the crew successfully landed on the Moon. While Shepard and Mitchell explored the lunar surface, Roosa remained in lunar orbit. Over the following 33 hours, the astronauts collected nearly 100 pounds of moon rocks. These rocks held the promise of unlocking the secrets of lunar geology and rare moon minerals. 9 days after their takeoff, on February 9, the Apollo 14 crew safely splashed down in the Pacific Ocean. Their findings were delivered to NASA, where scientists eagerly began their investigations. Unbeknownst to the crew, one of the rocks they collected would confound scientists for decades. It was a rock that had no business being on the Moon. It wasn't until 2018 when Professor Alexander Nin from Curtin, a university in Australia, made a remarkable observation about this rock. The 1.8-gram sample contained granite, a mineral common on Earth, but extraordinarily rare on the Moon. The sample also contained quartz, an even more unusual find on the lunar surface. Furthermore, the rock held xerin, with a chemical composition distinct from any other xerin grain found in lunar samples, but strikingly similar to terrestrial xerin. In other words, among all the lunar rocks collected by Shepard and Mitchell, there was one that originated from Earth. This baffled Professor Nin and his team. How had this rock made the journey to the Moon without hitching a ride? After much contemplation, Professor Nin and his team proposed a theory. The story behind the rock's journey, as they saw it, began 4 billion years before the Apollo 14 crew ever set foot in their spacecraft. During Earth's infancy, when space was a tumultuous place, asteroids frequently collided with the young planet, forming the landmasses we know today. Some of these high-impact events ejected fragments of Earth's surface millions of miles away from the Moon. This might sound incredible, but at that time, the Moon was much closer to Earth than it is now. This explained why the rock collected by the Apollo crew bore clear evidence of having formed under terrestrial conditions. Alternatively, some theorize that conditions on the Moon billions of years ago were radically different from today, allowing the rock to form in its unique state. Professor Nin and his team offered a more plausible explanation. The rock had been launched from Earth by an asteroid impact, embarking on a remarkable cosmic journey. Dr. David Kring, a team member at the university's Space Research Association, expressed that the recent discovery is remarkable, providing valuable insights into early Earth and the significant impacts it endured before the Apollo 14 mission. Several years before the Apollo 14 crew embarked on their mission, astronaut Gordon Cooper, sharing a role similar to that of Stuart Roosa on Apollo 14, made a groundbreaking discovery from space in 1959. This was around the time NASA was considering Cooper as a potential candidate for the Mercury project, aimed at placing the human in Earth's orbit and ensuring their safe return. Cooper, recognized as an ideal candidate, was eventually selected as one of the 7 men for the program in May 1963. He undertook his first mission aboard the Faith 7 spacecraft, a compact craft designed to accommodate an individual under 5 feet and 11 inches in height. The objective, publicly known, was to venture into space alone, survive, and study the prolonged effects of zero gravity on the human body. Cooper's mission began on May 15, 1963, lasting about 34 hours, during which he orbited Earth, becoming the first astronaut to sleep in space. However, as the Faith 7 spacecraft returned to Earth, an automatic piloting system malfunctioned, presenting a potential disaster. Cooper's experience and expertise as a flyer allowed him to take control and execute a flawless manual landing on a waiting aircraft carrier, completing his mission. In addition to his publicly known mission objectives, Cooper's mission involved a clandestine task. Equipped with a camera capable of detecting magnetic aberrations along Earth's surface, he was tasked with discreetly searching for Soviet nuclear bases or submarines off the coast of the United States. During this covert operation, Cooper also noticed anomalies near the Caribbean, which he meticulously documented. Although these aberrations were not indicative of nuclear sites, Cooper suspected they might be related to centuries-old shipwrecks located along historical shipping routes, heavily used by Spanish ships. Intrigued by these findings, Cooper began researching old trading routes and shipwrecks, confident that he had indeed charted some of them from space. Cooper's findings remained a secret for many years as he pursued a successful career, including a mission on the Gemini 5, during which he spent 190 hours in space. However, as he battled Parkinson's and neared the end of his life, he wanted to ensure his discovery would not be in vain. Cooper enlisted the help of his friend Darrell Wright, an explorer experienced in hunting for rocket ship debris. Before passing away in 2004, Cooper shared his map and findings with Wright, setting in motion a series of investigations that would later be documented in the 2017 TV show Cooper's Treasure. Michelot and his crew embarked on exploratory journeys, investigating the locations marked on Cooper's map. In one expedition, they discovered a significant artifact. An anchor dating back to the era of Christopher Columbus affirmed the validity of Cooper's observations. As of mid-2017, they had explored 5 spots on the map and found evidence of shipwrecks at each location, hinting at more treasures yet to be uncovered. While the full extent of Cooper's discoveries is still unknown, Michelot remains dedicated to continuing the search, guided by Cooper's belief that they are on the right trail, honoring the legacy of the Oklahoma boy who reached the stars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our channel.